Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. Ivica Zubac has been one of the most quietly dominant players in the NBA this season so far. So in this video, we're going to look at some ways that he has been successful on the interior for the Clippers. But here are his stats first, averaging nearly 11 points per game, around 11.5 rebounds, shooting 61.6 from the field. But the things that excited me about his stats are the 13% offensive rebound percentage and the 20.9 rebound percentage. So now let's look at the film and see what he does that allows him to be successful. First, let's talk about the offensive end of the floor first, where Zubac is incredible as a roll man and screener in pick and rolls. So in these first few clips, we'll look at him on the dive as a true roller. So you'll see that he does a great job first at setting a phenomenal screen. Whether he's slipping it or not, he sets his feet and is prepared for contact to allow the offensive player with the ball to create an advantage. But on the roll, he does a great job at first finding the ball. You can see in all these clips, he turns immediately, eyes lock on the ball handler, allowing him to be successful and available in getting a good catch and making a play on the dive. Secondly, he dives hard. Whether he's slipping or not, he is going hard to the rim, finding cracks in the paint, and going to make a play that way. And lastly, he has phenomenal hands. He's able to catch the ball wherever they put it, whether it's a bounce pass, whether it's a lob, whether it's directly to him. He does a great job at containing it with both hands, allowing him to go make a play at the rim. But another part of the pick and roll game is the delayed or short roll. In this clip here against the Warriors, you'll see him go to that middle of the floor area on the short roll, catch it with two hands, turn face, and go make a play in the paint with great patience and poise. But that short roll ability and the ability to make plays out of a short roll gives the offense another option and allows him to be successful in the paint. But the thing that has allowed him to be so good offensively is his ability to float and find cracks in the Clippers offense. The Clippers like running a 4-out, 1-in offense with Zubac on the floor, and Zubac kind of floats. He finds cracks in the paint, on the porch, in the elbows, and he does a really good job at making himself available. His hands are always out and ready for the catch. His eyes are on the ball handler, allowing himself to make that eye contact, have his hands in a spot where he wants the ball. He's able to catch it, go make plays, whether he's on the move on the porch, whether he's on the elbows, regardless of where he is on the floor, he finds these cracks, he finds these openings, makes himself available, catches it, and go makes a play. These last few clips, I want you to watch him and look at how he's able to communicate with his eyes and that point up for a lob when he's on the porch. This communication level and the ability to have a connection with the perimeter players allows him to be even more successful on the porch and in these cracks and just finding space within the Clippers offense. This communication and just understanding of his role allows him to excel when he does get the opportunities. But lastly, I want to touch upon his post-touch ability. He's a low possession post threat. Like, he doesn't have the volume that other guys have, but he's really good when he's down there. He's great patience. He seals very well. He gets himself in spots to be successful. And when he catches it, you can see he scans the floor. He takes his time. He's willing and able to make plays for his teammates first. But then when he goes to score, he's big, he's physical, he can finish with either hand. And it just makes him such a big threat that he's so patient when he picks up the ball. You can see that he pivots a couple times in a lot of these clips, and it allows him to find cracks, find openings, find advantages in these post touches to go make plays deep in the paint around other big men. Now let's go to the other end of the floor and look at Zubac's defensive genius. So with Zubac in games, the Clippers run a little bit different of a defensive system where they like dropping him off and allowing him to protect the lane line, protect the paint, and go make plays on the interior. You'll see in a lot of these clips that he drops very early in the possession to the restricted area, allowing him to be in a position to make the rim impossible. So if you want some statistical additions to that, rim shots per game are minus 11.3 on-off numbers with Zubac in the game. Teams are not shooting at the rim, and then when you look at block percentages and free throw rates, they're both very high. His block percentage is a 5.2%, and his free throw rate while on the floor is a negative 7.2. He is just an elite interior defender, and you'll see in these clips he does a great job at first shadowing the ball and making that a priority, making things tough for a ball handler to get down there. And if they do get in the paint, he walls off the rim. He's very strong and physical and does a great job at staying vertical. We'll talk more about that verticality later, but his priority as a defender is to prevent rim touches, rim opportunities, and take the offense completely out of the paint. He forces a lot of mid-range shots, a lot of floaters, just by his presence on the floor, ability to float. And also this clip here against Denver shows him in a zone. His ability to play allows the Clippers to run zones sometimes, and it gives the offense a different look to go at. But overall, you'll see that he drops off, he sags off, he makes the paint his thing, he guards down there, and he gives the Clippers a different layer. They're a highly switchy, high-pressure defense, and with Zubac on the floor, it gives them a different look, a different level for an offense to have to go out there and try to crack. He's very physical, he's strong in the paint, and with him in games, it makes it very difficult for offenses to find consistent looks and paint touches to crack the defense. To wrap up the defensive portion of this video, I want to talk about him in the post. First things first, he is highly physical. So as we saw offensively, as him as the imposer, you can see it defensively. He's willing and able to create that first force of contact, making it very hard for an offensive player to first get a good position on the seal, and secondly, create something once they do get the catch. His ability to be physical and active, you can see his hands are in good positions, his feet are really quick when he's in the paint, and it's very hard for quicker guys to create advantages because they get bumped out, and secondly, stronger guys can't create advantages because he does such a good job with his activity. So his ability to wall up and ability to be the first puncher is what makes him so successful in the post. The last thing I want to talk about is his rebounding ability. He is an elite rebounder at both ends of the floor, but let's look offensively first. If you want a stat real quick, he is a plus 1.5% offensive rebound percentage, and you can see in these clips he does a great job at the offensive end of the floor at using his way to find cracks and openings to allow him to be in positions to get rebounds. You can see him in the right place at the right time consistently on shot attempts to allow these rebounds to just come to him. And when it comes to the rebounding portion, he pursues the ball with high energy, he has great touch around the rim, and then lastly, he's able to finish these plays. So that touch around the rim and the ability to finish strong allow him to capitalize on these offensive rebounds. To go to the defensive end, on his on-off numbers, it's 7.3% offensive rebound percentage with him on the floor, and he has a defensive rebound percentage of 28%. When it comes to the skill of rebounding, though, he initiates contact initially. His ability to be physical down there as a rebounder allows him to be successful from the jump. He initiates that contact with a good block out or arm bar and allows him to pursue the ball the best way possible. But secondly, it's the pursuit of the ball. He catches it at the high point, making it very difficult for offensive rebounders to get in there and go find the ball themselves. Getting it at that high point with both hands makes it very challenging for other people to go get it when you are his size. So being as elite of a rebounder he is, it starts with being physical on the shot, blocking out, and secondly, pursuing the ball with high energy at the highest point. Zubac has quietly been one of the most dominant bigs in the NBA this season, being a huge part of the Clippers' early season successes at maintaining without their stars. You can see he does a great job at offensively at finding cracks and openings and finishing plays in the paint, and defensively being that interior roamer and just making it impossible to get good looks at the rim. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned something about Zubac. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you in the next one.